Okay, so by 1990, there was an interesting story you wrote about in your book. There'd be a woman, a married woman, who would always sit behind the bench.
Yeah.
What happened next?
Yeah. So Dell and Muggsy had told me that there was, yeah, I don't want to get too specific, but had told me that there was a woman, not a girl, a woman, because I am a teenager at the time, that was sitting behind the bench that she never takes her eyes off of me, like not even when I'm on the bench or during timeouts, that like, she's focused in. And once I saw it, I was like, okay, this is weird. Like there was never a time I would look over at her at that she wasn't looking directly at me. And it just really weirded me out. And one night I'm driving home after the ball game, and I look over at a stoplight. She's right beside me in a really nice car. And she didn't really wave or anything. She just looked at me. And I drove on home. She followed me home. And I pulled in my subdivision and she kept going. And I want to say that happened another time or two. And I told them about it. And they said, man, you need to call the cops. And I was like, well, she hasn't really done anything. Also, I don't want to tell them this. This is like, I'm embarrassed. I'm a kid. To me, this is an old woman. And so one night I'm at home and I look out front and her car is out front, or what I thought was her car out front. And I called one of my neighbors, a guy named Pepper, and said, hey, what do I do? He said, call the police. So I called the police. The police came. As they pulled in the subdivision, she started to peel out and they hemmed her in. And they got her out. She was naked. She had sex toys in there. And she was just out there in front of my place, just doing her thing. And I didn't tell anyone. I was so embarrassed. I thought if I told Dell and Muggsy, they might have found out about this in this book, because I didn't tell anybody for a long time. I just thought it would be a never-ending stream of shit if I told them that this had happened. And I'm sure it would have been.